with Anna Maria Ash.
Good evening. It's emerged that a crucial piece of equipment on the plane in the Stansted air crash was found to be faulty before the jet arrived in Essex. The details were revealed as the first report into the crash was released. It says that engineers in Britain made repairs and gave the all clear. All 4 Korean air crew members died in the crash. As a mark of respect, the company has suspended all flights out of Stansted. Gareth Furby reports.
The crash scene near Stansted today, where investigators now believe buried underneath mud at the bottom of the crater may lie the remains of the Jumbo's cockpit, and inside the bodies of 3 crew members. What happened during their final moments alive is now becoming clear. Crash investigators building up a theory from recordings recovered from the aircraft's black boxes. They know the Jumbo took off normally, and at about 2,100 feet it began a turn to the left. But then the wings just kept on banking until they were nearly vertical. At such an angle, the aircraft couldn't fly and just fell out of the sky.
I think it's quite frightening, or more than frightening. It's absolute disaster that a Jumbo can take off from a modern airport and within less than 2 minutes fall out of the sky.
What investigators need to establish now is why the Jumbo made such a fatal maneuver. And one key theory is that there was something wrong with a vital cockpit indicator, seen here in another plane with the green display. It tells the pilot if the plane is level and how steep a turn is. And this precise indicator had been reported as faulty on the flight to Stansted, while at the airport it was reported as repaired. But investigators are now trying to find out if it was.
It's premature to say that we've established a cause. We're in the process of trying to explain why it happened. As I say, we've got as far as understanding what happened. We still have quite a way to go.
And from some observers around Stansted now comes the question of what might happen to communities around Heathrow if another aircraft falls out of the sky within a few miles of that airport. But until the final report from crash investigators is issued, airlines will continue to maintain their Jumbo cockpits are free of faults. This is Gareth Furby for London Tonight.
Ken Livingstone's bid to become Labour's candidate for Mayor of London has been given a massive boost. The Brent East MP has won the backing of the Transport and General Workers Union. In a secret ballot of its 60,000 London members, more than 85% voted for the left-winger. Glenda Jackson came second with 7%. Mr Livingstone's main rival, Frank Dobson, was third. An inmate in Holloway Prison has lost the latest stage in her battle to keep her child in jail. The prisoners upheld a decision to bar her from its mother and baby unit on the grounds that her volatile behaviour would place the child at risk. Lawyers for the 18-year-old who gave birth last week will go to court tomorrow to ask for her to be bailed to a mother and baby hostel in the community. The sponsors of the Millennium Dome's Body Zone say they're unhappy about the long queues to see the attraction. Boots the chemist has agreed to sponsor the zone for £12 million, but still hasn't handed over a penny. The firm claims that's just a coincidence, but says it wants to see the queues cut. The Dome says measures to help have been introduced. The Metropolitan Police Chief, Sir Paul Condon, has said the murder of Stephen Lawrence was a tragedy for the police service as well as the teenager's family. He says up to a dozen officers had become so traumatised by the inquiry into the investigation that they can no longer function as human beings. Inner city schools are facing a teaching crisis caused by a shortage of supply staff. Fill-in teachers make up around half the workforce, but many overseas trained staff haven't returned from Christmas and New Year celebrations abroad. Some authorities fear pupils may have to be sent home if the situation doesn't improve.
The problem is particularly acute in primary schools, and that's because there is a shortage of primary school teachers in London. Now, if we had sufficient trained teachers, we had supply pools, we wouldn't be in this difficulty.
Royal Opera House bosses are to review ticket prices after complaints about the high cost of seats. The move follows a barrage of criticism that the institution, the bulk of whose multi-million-pound refit was funded with lottery cash, is still accessible only to the rich. In football, Arsenal are a step closer to being thrown out of the FA Cup after Arsene Wenger insisted he will field Nigeria's Kanu in Sunday's fourth-round clash with Leicester. Kanu was due to join his national side's preparations for the African Nations Cup on Saturday, but Wenger has insisted he plays and flies out Sunday night. FIFA could insist the FA treat Kanu as an ineligible player and throw Arsenal out of the competition. That's it from me for now. We're back tomorrow with bulletins throughout the day, starting in GMTV at 6:10. Until then, have a very good night. Bye-bye.
Carlton Weather is sponsored by Amarada, the energy company.
Hello there once again. It's dry and chilly at the moment. Temperatures in fact are as low as 1 in places, but later on tonight those temperatures will recover as the wind picks up. And watch out for just a little bit of mist floating around, especially so to the south of London. Into tomorrow morning on a dry, bright note, plenty of sunshine, but the winds pick up and the cloud fills in at the same time, so becoming less sunny. And then during the course of the day we see top temperatures of around 10 or 11, but it'll feel nothing at all like that when you bear in mind these blustery conditions. A quick look ahead to the weekend, and on Saturday a dull, damp, drizzly start to the day, but it brightens up and dries off. Come Sunday, a much brighter day in prospect, but chilly with it. 7 is 45. That's all from me. Good night.
For a more detailed 5-day outlook, call Weather Update, sponsored by Amarada.